Good morning, people. Person with glasses here. You probably heard about IONET before, as they do this over here, AI compute as a currency. When we talked about Navy AI, for example, they had the announcement that they work with IONET. If you ever looked into Aethia nodes, for example, or Filecoin for that reason, they also collaborated and work with IONET. They're built on Solana, went live about a week or so ago, I think, with the token over here on the 11th of June. And I thought, because this is kind of like the underlying foundation, or at least part of that, for a lot of projects that we talk about and ones that are being built on right now, this makes a lot of sense to, I guess, make a video about to bring closer to you right there. So you can then see and think if this would make sense to get into. Keep in mind the market cap is almost $500 million with a fully diluted market cap of 3.4 billion. So no matter how many views this video gets, this will not change the price at all. They're listed on pretty much all the big exchanges, including Binance, Bybit, Gate, HTX, KuCoin, Maxi, and you can see 9 other pages down here. So even if you use Orca in order to trade on Solana, you can get it that way. Now Solana is pretty smart because everybody who gets hyped through meme coins and makes money with that can now invest into things that make much more sense and that aren't pictures of frogs or dogs. One more project that they work with, as a short side note, I made probably like 6-7 videos about Portfolio Master, and one of the reports that they've written about coins in detail was about Genesis 1, and if you believe it or not, they also have a partnership with IONET, so it's always fun to see how everything kind of fits together, works together in this whole crypto space. In very simple terms, they are a decentralized GPU network where you get the power of global GPU resources with a single click. They have decentralized clusters, streamlined cluster deployment. I can read you more words we see in front of me. Everything is instant because it's built on Solana, and it's better, faster, and cheaper as we get on-demand GPU access. Now you might say, but why do I want that? It's pretty simple. Anything that has to do with AI needs a lot of computing power. If you ever try to play, let's say, the newest Call of Duty on an old computer, you will have frame drops, you will have lags. It doesn't really work because your GPU isn't fast enough, there's not enough computing power available. But if you had the option, which is right here, to get all the additional GPU power required to benefit you, that would be pretty helpful. Plus, as most people, I would guess, think this whole bull run is powered by a couple different narratives, including deepin, gaming AI. What is the common denominator? GPUs. Even 3-4 years ago, when people started to get into the last cycle of crypto and wanted to buy GPUs, I think you bought like a, what was it, like a 3080 for like $2,000? Well, like some insane prices for regular graphic cards. So you could almost say that this is something that will always be required and will have a use case. Think of this like Airbnb for real estate, Uber for cars and taxis, and this for AI computing. They also provide a marketplace where, let's say you have multiple GPUs or you simply don't use your computer overnight, you could then allow your GPU to be rented out to be used as calculation power, as computing power, so you make additional money with what you have anyways. I always like to think, I have this phone, my old phone, another phone, an extra laptop. There's X amount of hardware and computing power that is just lying around. If there would be a simple app for everything where I simply click on start and it starts farming and it's being utilized in that time frame, you would make some additional money for something you have anyways. Now we have seen that render, what point is this one? 25, 30? 29. Render, when the AI hype started to begin at the end of last year, we went from $2 or $3 up until 13 even. With a market cap of 5 billion over here, we sit at 3 billion currently. And Render is one of the projects that works with IONET that utilizes their services. You could also think that if IONET is the underlying provider that other projects have access to, it's kind of like Immutable X for gaming as a marketplace, as whenever a narrative starts and gets hyped a lot, we have market caps around $5 billion simply for them providing the infrastructure, you could say. And if you position yourself in a growing market, before the bull run officially starts, then there is a good chance, I would like to say at least, that things perform similar. You can sign up with Google, Apple, Twitter, and I have to say, this is really convenient because for most apps that I download on my phone, I simply click on sign up with Apple, so I don't have to write down the passwords, the email, all of that. This is convenient. And then after you sign up, it will look like this. Are you a GPU provider or ML engineer? Now you wouldn't believe it, but I'm actually a GPU provider. It's what it will be used to send your IONET token emission rewards, connect with Solana wallets like Phantom for example, or connect to Aptos. For now, let's skip this step. As I will set this one up later, you have successfully created your IOID account and now have access to all the elements. Let's see. We got the cloud, worker, explorer, ID, coin, and a picture with the white cat down there. let's say we click on the cloud. We can deploy a cluster, we can connect new workers, and then once we have that set up and rent our GPU as a cluster or an instance, we will get our rewards down here. Now you will need to run some numbers on how much you can actually make. If they have something like a chart where you can see with which graphic card and which CPU you can make X amount of money over time, I will link it down below, as well as a link to the white paper, because there are a lot of different things that you can read through. And I'm not that knowledgeable when it comes to computer words. So let's talk about numbers, because I like them. And they're simple. So far, they have about 150,000 verified GPUs, 165,000 to be precise, 45k CPUs, then 20k of them are cluster ready, as well as 10% of the CPUs. And then unverified, as in devices that are connected to the site, they almost have 1 million different GPUs. If you click on different countries like the United States, for example, or you click on Turkey or other ones, you will see you have an Apple M2 chip, M3, M1. In America, we have L4, some 4090 RTXs, and some more. And they also have a whole bunch of different investors that put in like $40 million, I think, in venture capitalist money. Some of them are listed over here, for example, when it comes to Series A. We see Solana, OKX, Sandbox, and a lot more. The point is that the guys that have millions, if not billions of dollars to invest into, they see the value in this. If we think about AI in general and how Uber, Airbnb and so on functions and works, and there's the same thing coming up in an AI focused bull run, then I can see the value in that. But I will tell you that it's not financial advice. But if you want to buy them, here's what you click on. Obviously, if you sign up to any of these exchanges down here, like Binance, Bybit and the other words on screen, you can get it there. Or option 2, if you simply use Solana as a wallet, you can use Orca, maybe you can use Radium or Jupiter, you can use Meteora as well, and then lots of other exchanges in different countries. So if any of those are the ones that you use, you can get yourself some magic internet tokens. Now you might say, but hold up 1 second, this one went down by 20% since yesterday. Oh no, over the past 5-6 days, we're pretty much around the same price as we launched at. And here's one thing that happens to altcoins and everything in between. If Bitcoin goes down by like 5%, everything else goes down by like 50%. That's how much fear and greed there is to this number. So when this one goes to 70k, there's a good chance this one goes to like $6 or $7. When Bitcoin reaches 100k, this might be at $30. If we compare to similar projects, which I don't think there are many, but anything AI based, for which there should be this category here, and projects like Near, Render, Graph, Injective are all at a higher valuation, and they're also at the exact same dip of about 15 to 20% over the past week. Every time my mom bought plants or something from a store, she said it's 20% off, so it's cheaper. Now in this case, you could say compared to yesterday, this is 20% off. So you get 20% more tokens if you get some in here. I would personally say for the different categories that I have my money in, and I will draw you this beautiful circle. It's almost a circle. I have 1/3 in notes, right, for passive income, 1/3 into altcoins, and 1/3 into this supposed to be an R, real world assets, and then DPIN. And I will allocate some of this down here into anything that has to do with AI over the next month or two, as I would assume, and this is complete guessing, like I don't know what happens, but I would assume over the next 2 months, Bitcoin stays around 70, 75k, hopefully, and then people join, and then this price goes up, and then it's not too late to buy altcoins, but you would have wished that you bought them now. Not financial advice, obviously, but I will personally allocate some of my meme coin gambling funds into IONET and similar projects. Link down below. Love you very much. Feel hugged, and I will see you fairly soon, by which I mean that I will look at this camera and you will feel looked at. And until then, take care.